Screen Bros, back at it again. Wally and Steve. We got a different twist today. So we were on the phone. We were on the phone the other day, right? And this new movie, the new Space Jam is coming out. A New Legacy, right? With Labron. And me and Steve, or Steve and I, decided that we were going to head-to-head this. And we were going to review both. So for me personally, I know we usually jump off with Steve, but I am a humongous Space Jam fan. I think Steve is too, right? Right, Steve?
I believe I can fly.
And I believe
I
can touch
I love
the sky.
Michael Jordan. I love Space Jam. This is nostalgia for me to go back and watch this and critique and do a head-to-head with LeBron. Because that's all it is. I don't care what
everybody
people say.
wants to know. I know, right?
This is Jordan versus LeBron. People are sitting here for the longest time. Who's the best NBA player of all time? Is LeBron? Is it Jordan? I think this movie
decided it. It decided it 100%.
Oh yeah,
it's not the gameplay or the
doesn't
legacy,
matter.
right?
It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how many points you score. It doesn't matter how many MVP titles you get or how many championships you win. It's Space Jam. It comes down to this movie.
Okay, so before we jump into this movie specifics, all right.
Okay.
Who's the GOAT? LeBron.
Well, we're getting
or
into
Michael?
it right away.
No, yeah, but just the GOAT, not which movie's goated. Which individual is goated? LeBron or Michael Jordan?
It's Michael Jordan.
Oh, hands down. What the hell kind of... Who
Hands
even
down.
think it's anybody else? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry to anybody out there who thinks LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. He's not.
No,
Facts are facts.
No.
When Jordan played, it was a different game. He was getting his ass handed to him. He was getting pushed around. He was getting punched in the face all day, every day, and getting up and just winning.
I can't remember.
LeBron
how many times I watched those
barely touched
Piston
and he's
games
screaming.
with him, and they're just getting their asses chewed out the whole time.
Oh, dude, they got their asses whooped, and then they came back and beat them.
Yep.
You know, after 2 straight years of getting their asses kicked, they figured out how to beat them, and that was basically just don't worry about getting your ass kicked. Just get back up and just fucking keep playing.
Have you been doing The Last Dance? Have you watched The Last Dance?
Oh, yeah, twice.
Ooh, it's so good. It is good. It's
That's
so
why.
good. I like how he thought it was going to make people like think of him differently, but I think it almost
made
had
him
the
think-
entire
yeah.
opposite, where everyone just thinks he's so much more amazing.
Well, what's really funny is if you go and watch The Last Dance and then you watch the original Space Jam, The Last Dance goes over his actual life, right? It goes over what he goes through and him.
I love
his
how they do
upbringing and whatnot.
the time frame where it kind of goes from end to end to
The
three-peat.
Yeah, they show you
both
the
three-peats.
They show you right. They show you the end, then they go back to the beginnings, and then they go back again, and then it's kind of cool. What I was saying though was in the beginning of the first Space Jam movie, they show Michael Jordan, little MJ, playing outside on his rinky-dink shitty basketball court, right?
Yeah.
They showed those same pictures in The Last Dance of what he grew up with. Obviously, he had 3 other brothers he was playing with who were beating the shit out of him, and that's why he got so good, which they didn't show in the movie. But hey, it's a movie. You gotta just fly through it, right?
Yeah. All I can hear is that soundtrack, and that probably top 3 soundtracks of all time for me. That scene with his dad. Oh. It's so good. Anyways,
it is good.
Anyways, so I could talk about this all day, but I do want to make sure that we get this content straight into the people the best we can. So
Sure.
I say
I'm here for that.
I say we talk about both of them individually and then do a small compare and contrast and then score. How about that? Okay.
That's fine with me.
All right, so let's start off with, I think I need to find a cadence for these episodes, and I think I figured it out. So let's do the first Space Jam. Steve, I want you to talk to me about the first Space Jam, how it made you feel currently. Not even as as a kid, right? I'd rather know the current one, the unbiased, you know?
Exactly. So, if you, like you said, think about this movie, nostalgic purposes, as you were a kid, obviously you're going to think of it as a better movie because when you were a kid, everything was good. And nostalgia hits hard and you have rose-colored tinted glasses on when you watch stuff like this.
Beautiful analogy.
So, right. So you're going to sit here and go, man, Space Jam #1 is so fucking good. But if you watch it without the rose-tinted glasses on, is it really a good movie? No, it's not. But it's not made to be a good movie. It's made to be a Looney Tunes movie for kids with Michael Jordan in it selling Nikes and fucking McDonald's fucking snacks all day, right? That's the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Did I go out and buy some Jordans and get some fucking McNuggets? You goddamn right
Yes,
I
I
did.
did. Yes, I did. And there's nothing wrong. Look, there is stuff wrong. Okay, there can be a time and a place, I think, but most of the time not. to slip in a Nike swoosh, which I'm going to ask you about that in the second one here in a little bit. But go ahead, keep going.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Ahead, keep
so
keep
I think basically the original Space Jam was made because Michael Jordan made a commercial, and they went, "Hey, why don't we just make this commercial into a fucking movie and sell all this, merchandise and have all these tie-ins and make all this money?" You're fucking right. Let's do it. Michael Jordan's on top of the world.
Yes.
Throw him in a goddamn movie. What the Looney Tunes thing? Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care. It makes for a good, heartwarming movie, right?
Yes.
As much as there's not. I'm going to switch over to the other one real quick.
Yeah. Don't get too much into it. Go ahead.
I'm not going to get too much into it, but what I'm saying is if you're comparing and contrasting the two of them, I feel like the second movie tried to be heartwarming on the nose, where the old one was heartwarming because it just let it be. There was nothing fucking kicking me in the face.
You and I are literally, I was thinking the exact, if I was trying to generalize how I felt about both of these movies, and you just nailed it right on the head. That's exactly how I felt, because you try to compare stories. I think it's really easy to grab a father-son story, personally, pull on the heartstrings, and then this other
Looking
one
at you,
was
God
just,
of War.
Yeah, and the first one, it didn't seem like it tried too hard at all to do anything. But for some reason,
it didn't try to be bigger than it needed to be. It's a fucking movie in which Michael Jordan gets sucked through a golf hole,
gets Roger Rabbited
into Looney Tunes world, or whatever you want to call it, Toontown. No, wait, that's a different movie. Gets pulled whatever into this Looney Tunes, and he's in a fucking cartoon. That's all it needs to be. There doesn't need to be some overarching story of family and this and that and blah blah. Yeah, his family's in it. I think those are his kids. I'm not quite sure. Just like I think that's LeBron's kids too.
I don't know. The names are different, but I honestly have no idea.
I know the wife isn't.
I know. He has Brownie, right? Isn't that what he calls one of his kids, or Bronny? That plays basketball, but
Bronny, because his name's LeBron, and he's called Braun the whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, they called him King the whole time. Yeah. That's another thing I want to get into a little bit later.
Ooh, all right. So, all right, first one though. So, give me your praises on the first one, Steve. Give me your praises.
Praises at the time in the '90s. This was kind of Roger Rabbit did the whole I'm in the Toontown whatever with live action first, but I felt like this movie, even watching it today, albeit in 4K. Upsampled or whatever you want to call it to make it look better, it still doesn't look terrible.
No, I didn't think it looked bad at all. And I really tried to pull myself away from it being as old as it is, but I don't think it looked bad. Sure. I could still watch it and not be like, this looks fucking grainy or freaking grainy.
Yeah, there was a couple spots, obviously, like when Newman from Seinfeld gets blown up into his CG self at the end.
Yep.
That looked a little old and dated, but it should have. I mean, that was CG in the 90s, so, okay, I'll give it a pass with that, but everything else with him going into why can't I think of the name of where they go? Looney Tunes.
Is it Toontown
World? It's not Toontown. That's from Roger Rabbit.
That's it. All right,
it's whatever, but it works pretty good.
Yeah. This is one of those things too where I think this movie specifically I thought it did a great job. I thought it was phenomenal. I went back and watched it again, and them getting the him there, the lighting in contrast to the actual cartoon portions of it.
It's great.
And then the dark NBA final scene on the court I thought it was great, man. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
That was so
the one thing that really stuck out to me, like as an adult watching it now, is when he's playing on the court against all the Monstars and they're like wrapping around him and trying to take the ball from him. That looked good. Like that shouldn't look that good. As a little kid, I remember watching this movie and going, he's in a cartoon. This is amazing.
So Mad World, right? Yeah. That was one of the other ones to do. What other ones had tried to do this whole imposed animation thing? There's
obviously Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Right.
But that I think honestly, I think this did it the best. To me personally, imposing a real human being into an animated world, I think it did it the best. I think Mad World tried that a little more. I think Roger Rabbit kind of did it opposite, where they drew on top of the pre-filmed canvas. But I think this
Well, yeah,
one
because
did
Roger Rabbit was so old, they had to do that. There was no technology.
Exactly.
They were basically doing
or-
it like they do. Yeah.
frame by frame kind of thing, you know.
The cool thing though with Roger Rabbit is there's a lot more interaction with the real world because the tunes are in real life versus
Which is
what's going on.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. Was what I'm trying to say. But anyways, I don't know. So yeah, so goods. Any other goods with this one? Any other original Space Jam beautiful clips you have?
Sure. As ridiculous as the story is for the first Space Jam, it's kind of a good story because it's not hard to follow and it's straight to the fucking point. Like, how long is it before Michael Jordan is in Looney Tune World? It's like 25 minutes into the movie.
Yep, right into the golf hole.
And then and then the main the game kicks off like, I don't know, 45 minutes into the movie?
Yeah.
So like you're in it it's ready to go. Like it doesn't need to be any longer than it was. It was like an hour and 23 minutes. Perfect. That's what you want for a Space Jam movie where your brain doesn't need to think about what's going on. Because what is really going on the screen? Michael Jordan gets pulled through a golf fucking hole into Looney Tunes. That's all you need to know.
A little bit of Bill Murray, you know. We can't forget.
Don't get me started on Bill Murray. He has like some of the best lines in that whole movie.
He's so good. Not only that, it's the. I was trying to say this earlier, but I guess I fell short. But this movie feels so, and I don't know if it's because of the basketball players, but it feels so iconic. Like everyone in this, the names. And it's not like I don't follow modern basketball, but when I hear him and Larry Bird talk, it's ridiculous.
Fucking Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, it's so good. Charles Barkley's in there.
Charles Barkley. The only person they didn't put in there, which was weird to me, was Karl Malone at the time because he was big. Unless this was before his climb up. Well, I don't know. This was 97.
I don't think Michael and Karl Malone got along too well together.
Oh, probably not. Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Right. Well, if you watch The Last Dance, Michael Jordan doesn't get along with anybody real good.
yeah. But it's still respect there,
asshole,
you know.
But
okay.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Okay. Real quick for me before we move on to the second one, one of the biggest things for me for this was the soundtrack. I've always been like a huge what is it?
And what a perfect 90s sounding soundtrack.
Everything works so well. Every song's Basketball Jones, R. Kelly's. He did I Believe I Can Fly on that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure. So good.
But no, it's amazing. I have that CD. I remember getting this movie on Easter. And it was in my Easter basket, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" And I'm sitting there eating little Easter eggs and shooting J's into my little trash can in the kitchen. You know, it was perfect. Anyways, all right. Go ahead.
There's two in the new movie. I'm gonna forget if I don't say it right now that I laughed really hard for, and that was the grandma going game blouses and walking away. I was like, God damn it, this is amazing.
Yes, my one in the new one. One of the parts that I laughed about in the new one were all the pokes at LeBron for like switching teams and stuff like that.
That was funny.
Yeah, but I didn't expect it. I personally, it gave me the giggles, right? That personally gave me the.
So if we're gonna get into that, let's get into it right now. This is my main takeaway from these two movies: is Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time because of these movies. Because what I'm gonna say, he's able to make fun of himself. And LeBron James is not. When does LeBron James in that movie make fun of himself or is the butt of the joke?
So
he's not.
Well, minus the times that I said that the points that I mean, literally when he was talking about. Go ahead.
But it's not a joke because it's factual. He did that.
No,
I mean? It's not like
okay. I get what you're saying.
They're making a joke about him. They're just saying, hey, he did all this stuff, blah, 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 and bounce back and forth. Okay, yeah, that's funny, but he's not making fun of himself or he's not able to step back and be the butt of jokes. Yeah. He's referred to himself through the entire movie as king. Yeah, sure, that's his brand. That's fucked up. Like, what do you need to be called king for all the time and like have... Look, basically, the first 20 or 15 minutes of this movie is stroking this motherfucker's ego.
And Warner Brothers' ego, by the way.
Well, yeah, big time that, too. But Don Cheadle is talking about LeBron James in the first 15 minutes of this movie about all his accomplishments, and he's like the best athlete in the world and all this stuff, and he's King LeBron James, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up. I don't need that. You know what they did in the first movie? They just showed highlights of Michael Jordan being Michael Jordan. Yeah, sure, they said he's the greatest and blah, 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 and this and that. But he was at the time. He was regarded as, you know, the greatest athlete who transcended the sport and did all this shit. LeBron James, yeah, he's a great basketball player.
He's probably the greatest right now. I mean,
sure, he's not Michael Jordan.
I agree. So look, I think it's two different times, two different scenarios, and one guy has so much more on top of the other dude, whether it's because of his accomplishments while playing or just his lifetime, just how much more time he's had to do them, you know? I think LeBron is great on it. I mean, their acting was the same for me. I mean, I don't think either of them acted better than one or the other in a movie review.
Well, I'm going to say this. Michael Jordan wasn't given a lot of lines to say in this movie. LeBron James was given a fucking lot of time to speak in this movie. This
felt like a commercial for Michael Jordan. If you watch the first one, like, I mean, it's the same as his commercial. Just like you said earlier, inspired-wise, all of his acting felt pretty much the same as I would have seen him in it.
He felt flat, but you know what? He's Michael Jordan. He doesn't need to act. Just go out there and do what you do on the fucking court and say, like, one or two things, and yeah, I'm with you, bro. But LeBron James, you need to bring me in to invest because your runtime of your movie is 2 hours and some change long. I don't need that with Michael Jordan in an hour and 23 minutes. He can just go out there and ball for fucking 20 minutes and I'm good. Yeah. But if you're going to sign me up for over 2 hours, motherfucker, you better act your ass off.
Okay, and real quick, I'll make a point about this too. This movie felt like it was so overstimulating for me.
Oh my God,
like there was so much going on all the time. Like there was some like low parts, but when it came to the visual effects and all the scenes, all the Looney Tunes scenes, it felt like there was like 10 montages of like Warner Brothers like going, this is what I got, boy. This is what we got now.
Hey,
like holy crap.
Do you remember that we have Batman and all that still? We got Game of Thrones. How funny is it that like throughout the entirety of that game, the people that are in the background are the characters you shouldn't see in a kid's movie?
It's so weird.
Like I'm pretty sure the people from A Clockwork Orange are in there. The fucking the Night King and all these people are behind Don Cheadle when he's doing all like. Why would you do that?
I didn't understand a lot of it, to be honest. And then,
for the people that are ripping people by saying that this movie is terrible, and they're saying it's a kids movie, it's made for kids, you need to take a step back and realize that when the first Space Jam was made, it was for a kid, and you were a kid. So the kids today are going to enjoy it. Okay, then why were there so many jokes and nostalgia places or points for adults to see? If it was made for kids.
There's a lot of jokes I wouldn't have understood as a kid. Like, even that Michael B. Jordan portion of it, I wouldn't have understood. Like, who's this guy? Why are they bringing him in here? I get you're trying to get Michael Jordan in here. I was so excited that I was thinking it was going to be... I knew it wasn't either, but for some reason, as soon as they said it, I was like... I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I felt a little tingle too. I was like, "Oh shit, are they gonna do?"
Oh my god, this is perfect.
And then they started like going overboard. I was like, "I ain't fucking Michael Jordan." It'd be funny if he was just in the crowd watching.
He's like, "Get that other ring. You need one more ring, and then I'll do a cameo in your Space Jam."
We'll do a fucking goddamn. How much money are you giving me? Yeah, I don't need it. I just sold like 1 million Jordans.
What about that product placement? We were going to talk about that.
So okay, in the original Space Jam, the product placement they do, which is in your face on purpose, is when Newman opens the door. I forget his actual name in the movie, and kind of says the whole spiel about get your Nikes and do this and do that, and we're gonna go and get some McDonald's and blah blah blah. I feel like that was on purpose to be just that little section of the movie to say, hey. Yeah, we know that this is a product placement movie. We're gonna fucking say it and put it in your face. Boom!
It's one of those things. Cause you do this all the time, and I feel the same way. It's one of those things where they expect the audience to be there and be smart enough to know that it is product placement, in opposed to another example, which you'll probably get to, where they try to sneak it past us because they think maybe it's gonna be subconscious or we're dumb. It doesn't. It feels like it's a little bit, I don't know, disingenuine.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, the second movie was just like, hey, you know how there's these things that you can buy? Yeah, we're gonna shove them in your face.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna make it all flashy and nice and whatnot.
All right.
I wasn't.
All right. So let's get into this. So what is the second one? Where did this one fall for you? In like a real generalized place. How do you feel about the second one, Steve?
it felt like 3 different movies for me. The beginning with LeBron James trying to act his heart out with his sons and whatnot I was like, okay, I can see what you're doing with this. Whatever, I don't care. The second part of it was when Bugs Bunny needs to get the band back together. I was like, all right, fuck yeah, I'm in this. But why is this in this movie? That feels like such a wasted opportunity to not make a separate Looney Tunes movie that Bugs Bunny has been stranded by himself in whatever world, I can't remember what it's called, and has to get everybody back. Like, that was such a cool idea, and I feel like they had that idea, and then they went, well, we got LeBron James under contract to make a movie. Let's make a fucking Space Jam movie with that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. But how are we gonna get that to work? I don't know.
It was that recruitment.
Get Don Cheadle in here.
That recruitment process. I think it was really swift and to the point in the first one, and maybe they tried to recreate it, but they couldn't find any other way to do it, minus this weird, convoluted, complex, weird way to do it. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, as soon as his son was just like, I'm making a video game and it's basketball, but it's not really basketball, I went, yeah, no fucking duh, you're gonna go and play this game at the end because. Why else would this movie exist?
Yep.
It's the whole movie was too on the fucking nose and too in your face and too much. Like the ending, the game should have been 20, 30 minutes.
Do you think this is another one of our tried too hard, so inherently fell short?
No, they didn't try too hard. They tried too little. Is what the problem is. Like, I believe. Like them in the beginning of the movie where they admit that they make every movie according to an algorithm that just sticks popular old shit in with popular new shit. I mean, that's got to be like the truth. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what they just did in the movie. Exactly, but then they're making fun of that in the beginning of the movie. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I hated it. I woke up. I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to go in unbiased. And I made sure to watch the second one first. And I made a point to do that, right? Because I've already seen the other one, and I wanted that to be as fresh as humanly possible before I started trying to make any comparisons. So I watched this, and I'm just struggling to get through this. Like, nothing grabbed me about this movie. And it wasn't because it's not because I'm getting old or anything like that. It just, there's
no, it is so not that at all.
Exactly. It's just so much weird, unnecessary stuff in there. I really wanted to grab a hold of the idea, the whole father-son thing. I love it. Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good father-son story, you know, where the dad's learning along the way, and the kid is just like, okay, maybe my dad's right about certain things. But it was him teaching LeBron the whole time, you know?
When LeBron James said to his son, like, you know, whatever you want isn't important. Playing basketball is important. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Come on, man.
Your son's not going to be a professional athlete.
Go back to your Sprite commercials, dude. Get the hell out of here, Jesus.
Oh, my God. Okay, you know the Sprite commercial where his head's all breaking apart and shit?
Yeah.
That's how they came up with the idea for this fucking movie.
Are you talking about, like, wait.
Think about it. It looks the same as when they go into the fucking...
Oh, that's wild. I didn't even think about that.
What does he say? What in the Matrix hell? Like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, we know you did the Matrix too. You don't need to shoehorn that bitch in here. God damn.
It was. Like I said, another montage. It's just like another montage. That recruitment montage. It was wild.
Hey, guys, did anybody know if this movie was made by Warner Brothers or not?
Yeah, I don't think so. All right. So
you know what's really funny? Hold on, real quick. In the game where all those people are in the background, and the mask is fucking there in a lot of shots. He's the most over the top crazy character there is, but he's literally just standing around going, "Ha yeah, go bad guys!" Yeah. Like, what the fuck? And then last little nitpick of people in the crowd, the aliens from the first Space Jam are there, but at the end of that movie,
only cameo I watched these back that was back, there. Go ahead.
Right. They become Looney Tunes at the end.
Oh, Monstars.
Right. So they're all cool with the Looney Tunes now. Why are they going for the bad guys again?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. That's a good point. That's a solid point, actually. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a lot of little weird things, you know?
It's just like the shoehorned in, hey, LeBron, check out this Game Boy for nostalgia purposes that I got. Oh, cool. Plays it for a second, and his dad or the coach is just like, you don't got time to fucking play Game Boy. for 2 seconds. You got to focus on playing basketball because that's what's important.
Yeah, those parts felt forced. That all felt very forced.
It was forced because then later in the movie, it's like, oh, your son wants to make video games. Ah, ha, 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 ha. You didn't want to play video games because basketball is too important. What the fuck? Learn how to write a goddamn movie.
I know we're not getting paid to do these yet, but this one would have definitely been demonetized.
I don't care. I don't care.
No,
this
I'm in
movie
it. I'm in it.
Deserves the hate. I get what they're trying to do, and to me, it's a cash grab. It's a nostalgic cash grab.
Yes.
So Warner Brothers went, what should we
week.
fucking make nostalgic-wise? We got all these IPs. What about Space Jam? Let's fucking get it in here. And they didn't put any thought into this fucking movie. Like, and some of the cameos or whatever you want to say, like Rick and Morty being there. I go back to what I said earlier of this isn't made for kids. This is made for adults to watch because there's all these throwbacks and cameos of older things that kids will not get. Okay, sure. In the first, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off so much, but in the first Space Jam, there's a part where they make fun of John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. What's that movie?
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, right? Where they show
how they dance.
They did
and stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Right. In this movie, they do an Austin Powers one, or they do, like I said, the Rick and Morty one, or the Matrix.
Brought up Austin Powers. They straight stole a scene. Like, good.
Yeah, it was funny, but what kid is gonna go? Yeah, that's funny. I know that is. No, this movie was made for adults.
I agree. So I think this is that study group, right, or that round table. It's like, okay, we're making this movie. So how are we getting butts in the seats?
We're jamming every fucking stupid thing we could throw in there. Hey, do you know that It and the Penguin from Batman should be in this too? Why? I don't know why. Just throw them in there.
I don't know, man. A lot of things. All right.
But we're gonna make them look so bad, but they're in the background, so it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. They'll only be in 1 or 2 shots of the movie. They were in the fucking last hour of the movie every fucking 5 seconds. It looks so bad. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. We feel the same. That's why I'm not talking very much, if I'm being honest. It's because you're pretty much voicing a lot of the stuff I have written down on this little piece of paper right in front of me. Okay, so this movie, right? I still think we should keep our score system. I'm assuming you scored both?
Oh, I did.
You did. Okay.
I definitely did.
All right. I would like to end on a little happier of a note. So how about you score the second one first? What score did you give the second one?
Score the second one.
New Legacy, right? Space Jam.
So we got
a new legacy, right? That's what I got. That. Yep.
It's not a new legacy. It's a shitty legacy if it's fucking going off of this. Please, WB, don't fucking do this ever again. You got all these. You just showed me all the IPs that you have that you could be making amazing movies with, and you do this. You throw them in a fucking crowd. We didn't even talk about the fact that all these people get sucked into this whatever game, and nobody goes, hey, how the fuck should we get out of here? Should we try to get out of here? Because I don't want to be here. What the fuck are we? Nobody's freaking out. They're just watching this basketball game. Go LeBron.
Yep, I said that. Kristen was actually picking up around me, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
The one black guy who's Kevin Hart's wannabe should have kind of said something where he's like, I was just in a elevator going up or whatever, and then he gets sucked out, and he was a little freaked out by it. But
no one else cares, right? Nothing.
Everyone's just sitting there watching the game.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway,
they didn't care.
So
at the end of the day, they didn't care, right? So they didn't care enough to make sure that any of this was believable by any means.
Yeah. No.
They met their checklist of what they thought might have been good, and they didn't go any further. Personal opinion.
Right.
So, anyways, go ahead, Steve. What do you got?
My personal opinion. We have a rating system that somehow we got to throw up on the screen right now. Boom, rating system. And we have a case for a WTF on this one. This is a what the fuck movie because it's that bad. I gave this bitch a 40.
I gave it a 44. And I didn't expect us to link up so much, And all of these movies we've been pretty dead on. And I just think that creates a little bit more of either we're really alike or it creates an unbiased truth to some of these movies, This was terrible.
You're right. I'm going to go with you're right on both of those. We're very alike when it comes to certain things, but also everything we've done, it's what we're doing is the right thing.
Yeah.
Our grading system does not lie, sir.
Yeah, we go in
It does
there.
not lie.
We go in there. We're just trying to preach the truth. At the end of the day, you know, like we're here to talk to you guys.
Preaching the
And
truth.
be like, look, this is how we feel, and if you're already seen it, hopefully you feel the same. Because if you feel like this is one of the greatest movies of all time, this might not be the channel for you. You know.
Also, you might want to think about life not being the right thing for you either, because
whoa.
how can you think?
Back it up, Steve.
I'm sorry, but if you really like this movie, something's wrong with you, and you got to reevaluate your life.
You should probably go back,
Get some counseling,
and watch old NBA clips from the mid 80s to late 80s all the way until I would say 96 to 99. Just go watch this.
Just watch The Last
Watch
Dance.
this.
Just watch
Watch The Last Dance, dude. It's ridiculous. All right. So
and then LeBron
40,
had his own whatever thing. It was fucking terrible.
44. Yeah, it sucked. His thing sucks. I'm not a fan. But I'm trying to go at this where it's like not a two huge iconic basketball players. It's the same debate everyone has, is who's better. I'm trying to do it Space Jam 1 and Space Jam A New Legacy. And honestly,
here's my thing.
There might be hold on real quick. There might be parallels actually between the arguments of these two being basketball players and these movies. There might be some parallels you can draw between the two, you know? As
I get
how good
exactly
you
what
are,
you're
your
saying.
legacies, how good it is. I don't know. All right, so real quick, we're coming down to almost a half hour now, almost 40 minutes.
It's
35
gonna happen.
minutes. It is. That's just more editing for you, and more cutting for me. I have a laundry list of clips. So what are you gonna say?
Good. What I was gonna say is that I was mad watching this movie.
Me too.
And it wasn't because I'm looking at Space Jam, the first one, to this one. I sat down and I said, I'm going to watch the first Space Jam like an adult and a critic, and I'm going to watch this movie like an adult and a critic, not thinking about the other movie. Space Jam: A New Legacy pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah,
That's all I'm going to say.
I didn't think it was good. I wasn't interested, and
There's
I didn't
nothing
like it.
There's nothing redeemable about this movie other than Wile E. Coyote bringing out a cloning machine and scoring 1,000 points by himself, and then nobody caring about him because he fucking won the game for those motherfuckers. He's the MV goddamn P of Space Jam New Legacy.
And then Speedy Gonzalez actually not being canceled. I thought that was kind of wild.
Right.
That was weird. I was like, okay. Oh, wait, what's going on here? He's back.
Hold on. If we're going to get into controversy, they canceled Pepe Le Pew, right, to not be in this movie because he was a womanizer. But then you're going to have in the background the druids or whatever you want to say from the
So
Orange
funny.
movie, Clockwork Orange.
We think exactly
They're
the same.
literal rapists in a movie or in this movie. But yet you can't have Pepe Le Pew because he's not a rapist? I don't know. I'm fucking...
Hey, I don't
fuck
get it.
this
I don't
movie.
get it. I don't get it. All right. Goose Rabah, you know? Real quick.
Should I start
real
adding
quick,
bleeps when
real
we're
quick,
talking?
Real quick, that'd be hilarious. I would love to make a little
Just
montage
beep.
of us cussing the whole time. Anyways, on a decent note from me, I'll go because
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
I don't know
You
what
do-
you're gonna do for this one, but I want to talk about it because
Okay. Talk about it.
so Space Jam, the first one. So I watched this after I watched A New Legacy, and
Oh, so you watched the new one first, and then you watched the second one.
yeah, I wanted to be as far removed from the first one as possible. You know,
I get it.
You know, so I
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
So
sense.
I literally went downstairs, chilled, watched the first one, and I am in love with this movie. And it was so hard for me to remove myself from it and my childhood. It was it was such a hard thing for me to do. I remember
Basketball Jones.
Yeah, going out. I remember having the CD. I remember having a little boom box, and I remember going out back and just throwing up J's and free throws for like 3 hours, listening to the soundtrack.
Shoot the J.
You know what I'm saying? This
Shoot it.
movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I removed myself from it, my score was a 77. Is what I gave it, and I think that's high. I think that's high, and I think it's high, and I just want to be honest with this. I think it's high because I couldn't fully remove myself from
Yeah, and that's
my childhood.
that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
And I just want to make sure people
Because
know
you
that.
got- yeah.
But there are parts that I even as an adult I watched it and I was like, okay, all right. So Kid Wally definitely wasn't super smart, you know. when watch older
Little-
Wally's a little
little
bit
Wally.
better, also not super smart, but
a
I
little
understood.
better.
But no, that's why I came in. I came in a C, 77, almost a B, you know, for me.
I got you. So I was able to remove myself from the rose-tinted glasses.
Yeah.
And I gave the first movie, Space Jam, with Michael Jordan, not Michael B. Jordan, but Michael A. Jordan, I gave it a 68.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
knew I was high,
low.
man. Well, the thing is, I knew I was high. I 100%, after watching the movie, just knowing that I was just I was like, I might have been biased, man. And I haven't had one of these yet.
Yeah.
This is my first one. Everyone gets a pass.
Everybody gets one. No, but here's my thing. Like Space Jam, I love that movie. This is one of my favorite movies of the 90s is Space Jam.
Yeah.
Like I said, that soundtrack, man, Basketball Jones, fucking fly high like an eagle, like that. It's amazing. That movie is such a time capsule movie that it's. God damn it! Now I'm just gonna listen to that soundtrack now for the rest of the night. But
It's time
I can't
to
get
dance
over.
now.
I can't get over how much of the 90s is encapsulated in that movie.
It really is. You're right.
It warms my heart to watch it, and I just want to keep watching it and being in that movie. But it's only an hour and 23 minutes, or give or take what it is.
It's that time frame is so perfect for that movie.
Exactly. You're in, you're out. Where, going back to the other movie, it's too fucking long, bro.
It is. It's too much.
I don't
want to
watch
long. It's for an extended period of time.
It's such a CGI fest, and of course it's going to be.
That is the.
But we haven't even.
That's the only score that got good for me. That was the only one where I can go, okay, you're not going to get a terrible. You're not going to get a great because I was force fed most of it, but you're going to get a decent score.
It looked good. I'm not gonna lie. In the certain parts, it looked good. But the one thing I do want to say is when LeBron James goes into the tune whatever, he's a cartoon as well. I didn't like that.
I didn't either.
I thought that.
They went through a bunch of phases.
Why would you do that?
I think so. I agree with that. I thought that was very weird.
No, it makes no goddamn sense to me
it was
because
super weird. And then they go into the computer generated animation, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Why? And then they just go back because I don't know. The movie made no goddamn sense.
Yep.
Fuck this movie. Space Jam: A New Legacy is not worth your time. It's worth just putting in the toilet and flushing it.
Yes, agreed. All right, so let's sign out real quick. So I think it's pretty.
I'm okay with what I just said as a sign out. Flush it.
The 40
flush it.
to 45 minutes, I think was an almost unworthy bashing of how bad this movie was. The second one, but it's also just a proof of praise for our enjoyment for the first one. Me personally, Steve, we both like the first one, you know. As a movie, whatever. Movie. As something from my childhood, great. You know, there I am.
Right,
that's where I stand.
Yeah, a lot of our movies from our childhood are not good movies when you break them down.
No,
just
not
like
at
this.
all.
It's
not even close.
But it's the enjoyment and the rewatchability of those movies. Like if I watch Space Jam today, the first one, to me that movie is still a better movie.
What did you put for? So we didn't talk about. What did you put? Because this was a weird one for me. What did you put for rewatchability for the first Space Jam? What'd you score it? I put a 9. That's the highest that either of us I think have done for I'll go watch it again like an hour from now. If I want to, I'll put that right in. Iconic.
All the jokes hit. There's no joke in that movie that's not good because it's geared towards all time. It's not about, hey, let's make a joke about the times we're in today. It was literally just joking about things that are funny. And the new Space Jam, most of it is making about jokes on like today. And
I do have a mild gripe about that. Like you'll watch a movie and it'll be all pop culture jokes, right? Have you watched any movies from maybe 10 years ago that have pop culture references and you're like, oh, that took me out. Oh, that took me out immediately.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
That's why, we don't need to get into that.
No, we can keep going. I can tell you can keep going.
We'll be here for you. Oh, yeah. I got a podcast, if anybody wants to hear it, called The Decision Reel, and we talk for hours.
It's hilarious, by the way. If anyone, you should check it out. I think Steve should slap a link for that if he hasn't already. With most of these in the description,
Maybe.
You know? I don't know. I don't know. Just do it. Why not? You know? We're trying to grow this. Okay.
Hey, but anyways,
go ahead.
This channel, the Screen Bros, are giving 2 thumbs down to this piece of shit.
Yeah, 2 thumbs down.
2 thumbs up.
And 2 thumbs up. Yeah. You got it. Yeah. 2 thumbs up for Space Jam. Go. You know what? Go. If you got this thing on VHS and you got a little boxy TV, which no one probably has,
watch it on there.
Slap this. You're just gonna be so happy. Go grab a number 1 from McDonald's a Big Mac, large fry, and then just sit down and watch this.
With a Coke.
With a Coke.
Put your Air Jordans on.
Yeah,
right?
And then just go out and just dribble a ball around for a little bit, and I guarantee you the rest of your week will feel amazing.
Amazing, because you're going to be so lifted. You're going to be a basketball Jones and want to fly like an eagle.
Yeah. This is so good. All right, well, this is Screen Bros review, second Space Jam, A New Legacy. If you can, if you like what you heard, or if you just want to, if you just like hanging out, you like looking at our beautiful faces, please slap that little, slap that little like button, that's what the kids are saying. And give us a thumbs up, comment. I don't know. Just
damn kids.
Share us. We deserve it. We deserve every bit of it.
we deserve everything.
We deserve every bit of it.
Because Space Jam 2 sucks.
This is Screen Bros signing out. I'll catch you guys later.
Chew.
Peace.
Bye.